Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a great episode. We're going to be continuing our series in testing 380 ACP ammunition out of our Bodyguard 2.0. Today we're going to be testing some Hornady Critical Defense. And for comparison reasons, we're going to be taking a look also at the Kimber Micro 380 and the Beretta ADX Cheetah. Let's get to shooting. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. So we have an exciting test for us to do today. We're going to be looking at the Bodyguard 2.0, comparing it with the Kimber Micro 380, comparing it again with the Beretta Cheetah ADX. The main difference between these two guns is Smith & Wesson has a 1 in 10 twist and the Kimber has a 1 in 16 twist. I've never been able to find what the Beretta has in terms of its twist rate, so we'll just have to go with it just has a longer barrel. We're going to be testing accuracy. We're going to be testing gel performance, and we're going to be testing velocities with these guns and this 90 grain Hornady Critical Defense ammunition. It has a flex tip in front of its jacketed hollow point. Should be an interesting show. Let's get to shooting. Okay, we'll have the Bodyguard 2.0, and we're going to check out how it performs in gel with a Hornady 90 grain Critical Defense. It's got a ballistic tip and it's got a little kind of plastic deal to help it expand. Let's see how it does in just straight gel. All right, well, let's just take a look at this Hornady. It does okay. It looks like it has okay expansion out to 9 inches. I would say okay, not great. Let's take a look at the top. You can see it just a little bit better from there. We can see this wound track right here going all the way down to here. We can see that it still has the ballistic tip in it. It shedded a couple of petals. It's not bad, but it's not great. We need to get at least 12 inches, and that's just not cutting it. Okay, we have a 90 grain Hornady ballistic tip in our Kimber Micro 380. We'll see how it performs. Safety first. Okay, we can see with the Kimber, we started here, we had decent expansion. We got to about 8 inches, not as much as the Smith & Wesson, I will say once again, but is 8 1/4 inch or 8 3/8 inches, much different than 9 inches? Could be, but I'd say both of these just aren't up to snuff. Okay, well, we have our Beretta 80 GDX, we have the Hornady 90 grain Critical Defense. Let's see how it does. Okay, and as often the case, when you increase velocity out of the longer barrel of the Beretta 80 Cheetah X, we get down to about 8 inches, just a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch less than what we got with the Kimber, even though it has a much longer barrel, and that's because we often get more expansion. Let's see if that is the case as we pull these bullets out. Okay, these are 3 rounds from the Hornady Critical Defense. This is from the Bodyguard 2.0, this is from the Kimber, and this is from the Beretta. Yes, we did get a little bit more expansion with the Beretta. Again, very similar performance in the bullets between these two, the Kimber and the 380. They should, but the Smith & Wesson got a little bit deeper penetration. I believe it's because of the twist rate. All right, just taking a little bit closer look, we took some measurements, and it's 0.49, 0.49 from the Bodyguard, from the Kimber, and then 0.5. You can see we're just talking about a few thousandths of an inch when we're talking about the differences between these rounds in terms of expansion. In terms of height, this is just a little bit shorter out of the Beretta ADX versus the Kimber and the Cheetah. So really not much of a difference. And, and I made probably a bigger point out of it in the previous parts of the video that the Kimber, or that the Bodyguard, is getting deeper penetration. It does seem to consistently get that, but in this case, 1/2 inch isn't much more. And, if I shot 5 more rounds, the average might be the same, right? Or who knows, a Kimber might be bigger. We're just taking 1-shot samples, so that's probably not statistically significant. Or let me rephrase that. It is not statistically significant. And then the Beretta, we just get more expansion because we got more velocity with that longer barrel. Let's see how it performs when we do velocity testing with this Garmin. 875, 901. We only have 3 shots. Stuff's expensive. So we had a min of 875, an average of 898, and a max of 919. Now we have the Kimber with this Hornady Critical Defense. 903, 891, and 909. Very similar ballistic performance to the Smith & Wesson. And I'm going to have to flash up the session summary. I just blasted through it. It got saved, so I will show it there. Okay, now we have the Beretta Cheetah with this Hornady Critical Defense. 948, 948.8, and 958.9. So we had a min of 948, an average of 952, and a max of 958.9. Extreme straight of 10.9. Not bad. All right, we have this 90 grain Hornady FTX projectile. We have our Bodyguard 2.0. We're going to test it for accuracy at 5 yards. For now, and we're going to test it with this Hornady. I didn't paste it up. I'm curious to see if we get a movement in point of aim, point of impact between these guns. So we'll do that for comparison. So not much. The way I'm shooting it seems to be a little bit high, a little bit right. Again, I've drifted these sights just a little on both this and the Micro 380, just a little bit over to the left. Could be I'm shooting better now and I don't need as much drifting. But remember, it was drifted a lot, or it was shooting left a lot with these guns. Okay, so we have the Beretta with the Hornady Critical Defense, and we have the red dot, so yeah. And failure to load. Now we got everybody's joining the party. All right, well, I lost my other ones in the grass. Okay, well, let's wrap things up. So today we took a look at the Hornady Critical Defense ammunition. And normally I really like this round. I actually typically more like the critical duty ammunition than I do the critical defense. But the critical defense typically gets very good expansion, gets decent penetration, and that plastic tip helps it get through clothing without having the hollow point get clogged up and allows it still to expand. Well, in this case, it would have been great if something would have clogged it up and allowed it to not expand and get deeper penetration. It didn't get enough penetration. That's at 8 inches, and all 3 of these guns is just not enough penetration for you in a self-defense situation. In self-defense, we're typically worried that we can get deep enough into through their layers of skin, layers of clothing, into their vitals when we're looking at that, whether it be for hunting, whether it be for self-defense, dangerous animals, those types of things. And for this type of ammunition, I just don't think it's worth it. One of the challenges we have with 380 ACP ammunition is it's just on that borderline of whether it's powerful enough to serve as a self-defense ammunition. And in this ammunition that we take a look at from Hornady today, I just don't think it's making the grade. I think we have better options out there. We have tested some other options already on this channel that perform better. In particular, the Federal HydroShock Deep and the Fiocchi Defense Dynamics both seem to be 2 rounds that are penetrating deep enough and performing quite well. And so I think that for these purposes, I would continue looking. I don't think that you should be wasting your money on ammunition that's going to cost you a whole lot more money and just not deliver the results. In this case, I think you really would be better off using full metal jacket ammunition than this Hornady. Let me know what you guys think. Please put your comments below. Were you surprised by these results, or are these typical to what you've been expecting? Let me know if you've seen something different. I hope everyone has a great week, and let's get to shooting.